Hello, everyone. I'm here with you today from our main sanctuary to share with you the very first of a new series called Secrets of the Synagogue. Each short episode will focus narrowly on a small part of our synagogue or our community, which may often be overlooked, but which, nevertheless, has a story to tell. Today, we find ourselves here in our beautiful sanctuary, designed by Louis Comfort Tiffany and built by Arnold Brunner. Some of you may have seen a small plaque located just to the right of the northern doors when you have entered or exited the synagogue. But I suspect that many of you have walked right by it without ever really noticing. So today, let's take a look at this small secret of the synagogue. Secrets of the Synagogue, Episode 1, The Hyman Memorial Lamps. Located in the back of the main sanctuary, above the radiator of the northern doors, is a small, easy-to-miss plaque that reads, "This tablet recalls two memorial lamps erected before the Ark in 1904 by Samuel L. Hyman in memory of his parents, Louis and Miriam Hyman, and by Rachel P. Hyman in memory of her parents, Joshua and Rebecca Phillips. What lamps are these, and who were Samuel and Rachel Hyman? Let's find out." Samuel Hyman and Rachel Phillips were married in the 19th Street Synagogue by our minister, Dr. Henry Pereira Mendes, and our Chazan, Abraham Chaim Nieto, in 1891. They lived for a time at 58 West 70th Street, just down the block from our present synagogue, and later at 233 West 83rd Street. Rachel Phillips Hyman was related to many of Shearith Israel's earliest families. She was the daughter of Joshua Phillips and Rebecca Peixoto, and was a descendant of Jonas Phillips, as well as being related to other prominent families in the history of our congregation. She was active in the life of the synagogue and the sisterhood, and was also a member of the Chebra Chassid Va'amet, of which her husband served as president. Outside of the synagogue, she was a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution, as well as other social and philanthropic organizations. Rachel's father, Joshua Phillips, was a longtime civil servant for the Corporation of the City of New York, serving in a variety of positions, notably as Secretary of the Board of Commissioners of Charities and Corrections. Rachel's husband, Samuel L. Hyman, was a board member of Shearith Israel during the early years of the 20th century, and served as Parnas in 1926. He was also the president of the Chebra Chassid Va'amet, the congregation's burial society. Outside of Shearith Israel, he was involved in several other philanthropic activities, including being an active board member of the Lebanon Hospital, known today as Bronx Lebanon, on Westchester Avenue in the Bronx. His business was real estate, and he is frequently reported in newspapers of the day to be buying or selling real estate throughout New York, as much of it on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Samuel's father, Louis Hyman, served as Sagan, or vice president, of Shearith Israel for many years until his passing in 1899. He was born in England and moved to Richmond, Virginia as a young man, where he became a very successful jeweler. In 1864, during the height of the Civil War, Louis Hyman sold his possessions, closed his business in Richmond, and fled the Confederacy with his wife and son Samuel, attempting to make his way north. Along the way, he was robbed and stripped of all his possessions, including cash, gold, and jewelry, with an estimated value of more than $175,000. The crime was quite notable and made several newspaper reports of the day. In one of these reports, it was said that shortly after the theft, two gentlemen tried to sell a Hebrew parchment scroll to a Jew in Richmond who declined to buy it, believing it to have come from the possessions of Louis Hyman. By 1865, Louis Hyman had relocated to New York City and applied for amnesty for having been in the Confederacy, and was pardoned by Andrew Johnson in September 1865. Louis became an active member of Shearith Israel and became vice president of the congregation when this building was built in 1897. In the photograph you see here, he is at the laying of the cornerstone for this building on May 20th, 1896. In 1904, Samuel and Rachel Hyman donated 2 lamps for the sanctuary in memory of their parents. These are the lamps referenced in our plaque. The lamps were large and costly. Writing in 1947, Dr. Poole described them as breaking the line of steps leading up to the ark, perhaps revealing his own distaste for them. Today, these lamps are almost completely forgotten, but they can be seen in old photographs, such as these from our archives. Located in the front of the sanctuary, each lamp was about 9 feet high, with a marble base and column, topped with a globe-shaped electric lamp, and 5 gas-fueled candlesticks branching out from each side. In about 1940, the gas pipes supplying these lamps were leaking, causing a costly repair. By 1949, the lamps were removed. The trustees debated what to do with them, initially proposing that they should be placed on either side of the millstone in the hallway outside the sanctuary, but there was not enough space. Then it was proposed to place them in the little synagogue, where they were for a very short time. The lamps were found to be too large and out of place for the little synagogue, and so it was decided to discard them. But the board then placed this plaque as a memorial to the lamps which had once been such a prominent part of the sanctuary for more than 40 years, and to recall the generosity of Samuel and Rachel Hyman.
Samuel and Rachel Hyman had no children, and this plaque is the only memory of their family that remains in the synagogue today. We often marvel at the beauty of our synagogue and of this sanctuary, and we are rightfully proud of the impressive restoration work that took place for the centennial of this building in 1997, or beginning in 1997, which faithfully and masterfully restored the original color scheme and appearance of this great sanctuary. But this little plaque, here hidden in the back of the synagogue, is a secret reminder that not everything we see today is exactly how it has always been. I hope that you have enjoyed this first installment of Secrets of the Synagogue, and wonder how many of you knew about the Hyman lamps before today. Let me know. I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to seeing you here at the synagogue very soon. Bye-bye.